What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. It is the 22nd day of January, and here we are sitting at about $89.6 thousand with roughly 10 hours and 12 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, my friends. I believe we have found a low. We have a lot to do, or a little bit to do, before we validate that this is the low, but I do believe that we found the low here. The reason why, well, there's a few reasons why, but we're going to go over some of them. But one of the dead giveaways is we just broke this trend line. People go max bearish every single time you break a trend line like this. We did not have a lot of volume. It was some of the higher levels of volume that we've seen over the past couple of months, but it wasn't anything, it's not breakout worthy, right? You don't see the same volume that you've been seeing over the past couple of months when you break out. No, you get breakout volume whenever you're breaking out. You know what I mean? Like when you're breaking out here, you get breakout volume. You don't see the same volume you've been seeing. So it's the same thought here as it was back here when we were breaking out, quote unquote. We were breaking out without any volume. We actually even had more volume on the low here than we did here on this breakout, and still that did not send us lower. So I don't believe that we're going to go lower. I think this is just the same thing as whenever we broke out over here out of this little wedge right here. It's a false, it's a farce. It's the best time to buy. It's a higher low. It's a higher low here, and I really do think that we're going to move up from here and likely pursue prices that are somewhere around $108,000 to $107,000, or maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less than that. Let's get into the short-term stuff, and then we'll zoom back out to the daily. Okay, 1 hour time frame here. It is Thursday. We're just moving sideways. What a boring past like 12 hours it's been. It's been a little bit more than 12 hours. What a boring past like 18 hours it's been. Just moving straight sideways. 1 hour time frame RSI is bullish but neutral. Stochastics are bullish actually. Reset entirely. This actually makes me think that you would bounce pretty soon, that we would start to move up. I think we're going to move up, guys. I think it's about an hour before the stock market opens. I wouldn't be surprised if we moved up for the stock market open. We'll see. The MACD technically is bullish too, so there's some bullish stuff going on in the 1 hour time frame, even though there's a lot of neutrality as well. The 4 hour time frame is a little bit more bearish on the RSI. It wouldn't be completely uncommon or uncalled for to expect a higher low or something like that in the oversold zone. If we get a higher low in the oversold zone, we likely do close below this low here. If we get into the oversold zone, we likely close below 88.4K on a 4 hour basis. That doesn't necessarily mean that we go below that low from yesterday, but we could and still be fine. So one of two things is going to happen, what I'm looking at on the 4 hour versus the 1 hour. Either the 1 hour is telling the truth or the 4 hour is telling the truth. If the 4 hour is telling the truth, then maybe we do have a little bit more downside to go. And when I say a little bit, I really do mean just a little bit. Let's see. We take the low to the high of this range. I mean, the golden ratio is right there at 86.8K, okay? And then 85.6K is like the ends of that zone. So somewhere between 86.8 to 85.6K would be where we find resolution to the downside. And it will still be a higher low than this low, which is a higher low than this low, which is a higher low than this low. It'll still be a higher low, and people will be panicking. But we've been panicking with higher lows this whole time, right? This whole giant consolidation phase here is just one giant higher low in comparison to this, and people are calling this a bear market, right? Bear markets don't have higher lows as far as I know, and higher highs, but we'll get to that maybe in another day. Looking at this here, 86.8 to 85.6K, that's the area that I would expect we go if the 4 hour RSI is telling the truth. If this is bearish, if we're still in a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows, if we're going to get that higher low bullish divergence that we typically see at the ends of these downtrends, it might make sense. There are some bullish signals going on with the stochastics as well. I mean, typically from here you would expect that you get into the overbought zone, which this lines up very well with the 1 hour time frame, suggesting that we're going to be bullish rather immediately. We could see some continuation here. And the MACD, it's a little bit of both. Overall, it's bearish. The oscillators are well below the zero, but you did just cross green. It's not uncommon to build higher lows here while you get lower lows in the price as well, and you'll get bullish divergence on your histogram, bullish divergence on your oscillators. But also, we just crossed green. I mean, maybe this is the, we literally just crossed green. Maybe we haven't had the move yet. This is the base from which we set up and we launched. So at this point in time, man, I'm not really convinced too much one way or another. I am going to call for the upside. I am going to call for a move up. But if I'm wrong, 86.8K to 85.6K will be support. We will go barely below this low, and that will be our support zone, and then we'll move up. Okay. But I am sticking with the upside. I think that we'll move up. I'm calling for this to be the low. I'm not confident in that. I'm very, I mean, if we're right, cool. We can celebrate that we were right. But if I was wrong, I'm not going to be too worried about that, because statistically speaking, there is a decent chance here that we could go a little bit lower. I'm just not concerned, because a little bit lower versus, like that, this is the move that I'm concerned with, not this move. As far as I'm concerned, we call for the upside here. If it goes down and then it goes up, we're still right. So that's why I'm calling for the upside. I really don't care. 4-hour time frame, good there. Let's look at the daily time frame one more time. Hi, Mufasa. Come here. This is Mufasa. He'll say hi if I just ignore him. I have to ignore him. Just wait. He'll yeah, right there. There he is. Yep, there he is. There he is. He's a good boy. Oh, he's a good boy, man. He's got like honeypot eyes. His eyes are really cool. Like, all cats have cool eyes, but dude, his eyes are really cool. Between the two of them, he's definitely got the cooler eyes. They're like little honeypot golden eyes. Literally awesome. Anyways, hi. The daily time frame, the stochastics have reset entirely. The last time that we were oversold was here in the price, and we moved up. That was a higher low point. The time before that we were oversold, we were here, and we moved up. That was a low point, right? So I'm just connecting the dots there, maybe. I mean, I'm just saying, it might be a low point. We might move up. On the RSI, we're down at these areas that we have been finding support at consistently for quite a while, actually. We found support here, found support there, support right there, just below this level, but still right around this area, and then back here, going back to August and July, and even before that. Look at how often we find support here. So I actually don't mind this area at all. As far as the daily indicators go, they really are calling for a low. Daily indicators calling for a low, you could have your daily indicator calling for a low here, and you go just a little bit lower. I would still say that that's right? We're basically in this environment right now where we are about to move up, but could we go a little bit lower first? Sure. It's not a big deal. And the MACD crossing above the zero, coming back down to the zero, is a perfect area to bounce. We're also at a perfect area to bounce here, as we've seen in our past. We're also at a perfect area to bounce here, as we've seen in our recent history as well. We're getting bounce signals on every indicator on the daily time frame. We've got higher lows throughout this range. But this is a lower low, C-Zar. You're being too nitpicky. Stop being nitpicky. Stop it. It's not going to help you. You're not going to be a better analyst. Of course, this is a lower low. Yeah, here's a lower low too. But that's not going to help you. That's not going to help you at all, right? That's like saying, well, this is a higher high. We're in a new trend. No, it's not, right? It's a higher low. It's undeniably a higher low, right? That'd be like me getting excited here. Oh, well, it's a higher high. It's not a higher high. You have to get above this high before it's a higher high. That'd be like anybody who was bullish here. Oh, we got a higher high. That's not a higher high. It's a lower high, right? These aren't higher lows. They're higher lows relative to this, but you still have to set up like a macro low. Like it's I don't know how to describe it. You can't be that precise with it. It has to be more general, right? In this area, overall, do we have higher lows? Yes. Are we lower than this low? Sure, it's a lower low, but it's a higher low. This is still a higher low, and that's the main point that I'm trying to drive home is that we have all these signals, every single signal on our indicators, every single indicator we have on the daily time frame, a very significant time frame, are calling for a bounce. They're right in bounce territory, and not only that, we are right here, just with the price action alone, like I was saying in the beginning, we're right here where we were before. Right? We've already come up with multiple reasons to compare this with indicators, but just looking at it with the price, we're right here where we broke out of this range with very minimal volume. We're right there right now where we're breaking out of this range with very minimal volume. We're right at the lows. That's exactly where it is. Everybody's bearish. Everybody's freaking out. It's the best time to invest, the best time to get in, because likely what happens next, right? We haven't heard anybody talk about the bear market for weeks. Now everybody starts talking about the bear market again now over the past few days, right? And then just like here, they're talking about the bear market. And the loudest that people were about the bear market before was here and here as well. People have been very quiet over the past couple of weeks about the bear market. But now that we're here with a higher low in bounce territory, everybody's super loud. That makes me think we're going to move up. That really does. A little bit of volatility never hurt anybody. If there was more volume behind this, if we moved down a little bit more tenaciously, I would be a little bit more scared. Like if instead of yesterday we pumped up, if we had another day that dropped down like this, okay, yeah, we might be in a bear market. But that's not what's happening. We held the line. And in fact, it's not even that we held the line, it's that we broke the line, quote unquote, and the breakout stopped breaking. It was a farce, a false. It is not real, and we will likely come back up in the face of that and continue pumping higher to about 106 to 110K. And I got nothing else to say, so I'm just going to end it there. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. We'll see how it goes over the coming days, but if things go the way that I expect them to, today should be good. We should close back above 90K today, maybe even higher. Maybe we're at like 93, 94. Or if things go a little bit against me, maybe we go a little bit lower. But again, I would compare it to this. Nothing super crazy, right? I would say that we're more in like this kind of environment right now, ready to move up, or maybe this kind of environment, right? We're not in this environment here where we're about to send it lower. At least I hope not. Anyways, hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. We are valid in thinking that this is a low. This low here is validated. Once we get above, I don't like that fib. I mean, I like that fib, but it's not going to help us with that question. Once we get above about $94,000. I know I said 95 yesterday, 95K, but I think 94K is good enough. Getting above these high closing points, $94,000. Once we close the day at 94 or above there, we validate this as the low. Again, we just skipped, we literally skimmed the golden ratio here. We got just shy of it. We could go down into this area, find support, and then move up. That really wouldn't be that weird. 86.8K to 85.6K, there's a solid chance that we go here. And even with that, I'm still just calling for the upside, okay? Hit that like button, subscribe, take care. Thank you all. Bye-bye.